Umbar is under siege from the combined armies of elves and men in this glorious Dawnless Day siege for you today. But they are not alone. They have an unlikely ally in another eastern faction. Khand has joined them in this struggle, as two Grand Khandish armies have joined them in this siege battle. So yes, today guys, we have another Dawnless Day siege for you. For those of you that are fans of the world of Middle-earth, we have a glorious siege battle here that comes down to the wire, I've been told. And we have two Umbar armies on the defense, along with two Khandish armies. And today, facing them, I didn't say it was a grand alliance of elves and men. And oh boy, is it. We do have, over on this side over here, we have Dorwinion. We have the elves of Lothlorien, a very, very strong faction, both on attack and defense. And we have the old classic Gondor is here, of course, to, you know, bring down the evil forces of Khand and Umbar. And joining them today is actually another evil faction, but it is a man faction. It is Dunland. So Dunland has clearly seen, I guess, the wrongs in its way and has changed to the side of the good, the side of men. Or good men, I guess, because Khand is technically men as well, and so is Umbar. So there's actually plenty of mannish factions here today. But I guess, yes, maybe they've been persuaded by Gondor to change their ways and change sides in this growing struggle for Middle-earth. But yes, this is the Dawnless Days mod for Attila Total War. If you're unaware of it, if you're new to the mod, it is an overhaul mod that basically just brings the world of Lord of the Rings to life. And yeah, we do cover it a lot on the channel. It is one of the fan favorites here. And yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy the siege, as we already have a bit of a supply barrel there getting absolutely annihilated by some Dorwinian infantry, by the looks of it, some lineman men-at-arms. If you are wondering how I've got all these other factions as well, like Umbar and Khand and Dorwinion added, that is being added with the Last Breath submod. That is a submod that you can get on the workshop. It's actually developed by quite a few people in the Discord, a good few friends of mine. And yeah, they are a really, really good bunch. And they work really hard on this submod to sort of add some of their own, like their own twist to what is already a great, great mod, really. So yes, they got their own Dorwinion, Khand, and an Umbar. I always forget Khand is actually in it. In a few battle replays recently, I was trying to list off the four factions that they've added. Couldn't remember Khand for the life of me. But yes, it's Khand, Umbar, Dorwinion, and the Iron Hills. So yeah, quite a good selection. And we're going to get Dol Amroth and Rudar soon. That's already been announced on their Discord as the next ones that are going to be added. So I'm very, very excited for those to be added. That is for sure. But yes, it does seem as though the attackers are going to land here quite easily without any sort of resistance. Just a lot of Galadriel elves. I'm surprised they actually didn't. Well, I don't know what that was. Was that artillery? I saw shots fly over from somewhere. I was thinking, what on earth was that? The noise. I'm guessing. Yeah, there's artillery somewhere, but I'm not sure where. Don't know. Maybe not, actually. I don't know. It sounded like that whooshing noise really did sound like artillery. I know Gondor has some, but I shouldn't be able to hear it from over here. But as you can see, yeah, they're all landing Dorwinion quite nicely. Looks like they had the opportunity to open breaches. I guess this is why maybe the defenders didn't bother to defend the walls, because the walls are almost crumbling as it is in several places. Another one over here actually by Gondor. So maybe they thought it would be too easy then to just for the attackers to get inside. They are bringing a artillery piece. Gondor does have their onager here. So they would be able to open up and unlock a lot of those defenses quite nicely by knocking down some walls. So it does seem as though the defenders are just going to defend the second tier. Actually, wow, it is stacked up here, actually. It's going to be tough to take. I can't remember the name of this map, actually, off the top of my head. So if anyone doesn't remember the name of it, do let me know in the comments. We don't often see it, though. That is for sure. It's a Harad map, that is for sure. I don't recognize it. But it does look awesome, that is for sure. I do like the tower up here and like this final little citadel, which is going to be tough to take. We have the unique sort of like Haradrim Towers. I don't know why I was struggling with that name. Maybe it's Selmagor, but I honestly can't remember. I Can't remember which of the mods. I thought I played. All the maps I thought I played, but I don't recognize this one. Carousel Selmugar is like the only one that I haven't really played that much of. So maybe it's that one? I honestly can't remember. But yes, it does seem as though Khan and Umbar are getting ready for the next assault. They haven't got much in the way of cavalry. There's Khan. We've got some Wainwright and nobles here and there. I thought maybe... Oh, we got some Harajim auxiliaries here. So it does seem as though they are going to maybe try and do some charges down. Or maybe use this cavalry late on in the game. I don't know. Like for coming down these ramps, there could be a whole problem there. But yeah, they are... have got some sally out capabilities. We've actually got some more. We've got very graders here. Maybe they have brought a decent amount of cav. Seems like one cab per army almost. I imagine we're going to see the attacks taking place in a moment. I imagine Dunland and all the attackers over here are going to just take their time. So I'll make a cut for you guys now so you don't have to see the build up. And we will rejoin when swords clash and enemies start to die. And I'll see you guys in a moment. So we are back, and as you can see, the elves are coming in. They are going to be the first to go in. The Arca Spearfishers here, which are a Javi spear unit sent forward to try and absorb that charge. They're a light unit here, but they can also throw Javis. And they actually got off a pretty good Javi volley into these Galadrim sword warriors. And they're doing some pretty good damage. That Javi, like... The Javis in Dawnless days basically need nerfing. There's a bug that basically you can just carry on throwing Javis while in combat. So like light infantry like these spearfishers here, even though they are still getting butchered and they're actually nearly going to rout themselves, did butcher a lot of these Galadrim sword warriors, and probably unrightfully so. Like after the charge they were still throwing javelins. We have Wainwright spear warriors now going in, and a second wave of Galadrim sword warriors as well has been sent in. A more healthy one, and responses to sending Nadun and Akori. Wow, okay. Umbar and Khan here uniting together to try and hold back the elves already going in. These are some pretty good units with the defenders being sent in. These Wainwright spear warriors actually are pretty solid. I do like to bring them myself if I play Khan. And the few times where I do, they're getting butchered here though by these Galadrim sword warriors. They may be good, but they're not quite elf good. These elves have had a millennia to train in the way of swords and bows. And it's showing. It's sitting in a third unit? No, it's just the remains. Okay. But they are both losing actually. The Adun and Kori here are actually chopping through them. And they are basically, you know, if you look at Adun and Kori, you look at these guys, they are basically like a typical medieval knight. Like head to toe, stainless steel, big double-handed sword. It's a great unit to see. I always say it every video, but I just can't get over how great they do look. Actually, I was about to say no one else has attacked yet, but actually there has been a bit of an incursion over here. We have some Dunland forces going in. We have Dunherd swords going in against Kharnish berserkers. So Khan still is going to throw down some shock here to deal with the sword unit. I mean, Khan's infantry is not great. They have a lot of raiders, which are like a medium infantry unit. I don't even know if I'll be able to find any if Khan's even bothered to bring them. They are Corsair Marines. I don't honestly think Khan has brought any. I can't see any, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't think Khan's brought any. They are like, I think they're a sword unit. They might be an axe unit, but I still can't see any. So it is quite possible they just weren't brought. We've got Arca Chosen here, and Haradrim auxiliaries. They are being sent down. I'm excited to see what these guys can do. Arca Chosen, though they're a melee cav unit, they're heavy. They'll still do a pretty nasty charge if they get one off against a shock infantry. There are shock infantry waiting to be hit as well. I mean, I imagine they don't want to be hit. They're not expecting an appointment and want to be hit in the face by cavalry, but they're accepting it right now. They are like enticing in. We've got Twilight Guard here as well, some really elite heavy bows that are very vulnerable. And actually, we're seeing now a charge down from Khan because they have managed to break that line there. And here we go, Arca Chosen going in. Whether they'll be able to get a good charge as the auxiliaries will see. That was a pretty good charge. I'll give them that. And they will start beheading people with those axes that they are wielding there. Yeah, it hasn't been insane damage there instantly. Maybe they'll... Oh, the elves are going to countercharge, which is not a bad idea. The cav might really want to get out of there. As you can see, the elves have been throwing a lot of infantry here early game to try and stop these early pushes from Harad and Umbar. It's an aggressive defense here from the defenders. Umbar is, even though they've given up the walls, they're now just attacking from the second layer all the way down. There has been a little bit of a mix up there with the Archichosen and the Haradrim auxiliaries. I don't think they got a great charge off those auxiliaries, unfortunately. And once they're in melee, they do kind of suffer. They are only a medium shock cab. They don't have the greatest of armor. This infantry is taking casualties though, but not a lot. They definitely could have wiped out these two elven units. I just let this Haradrim auxiliary just cycle. Just let it cycle. Here we go. We'll get a better charge here, hopefully. I mean, these two guys didn't, but everyone else hopefully will. In they go. That was a better one. I thought they were going to go for the nearer one, but they did not. Yeah, look at that. Instantly losing decisively. And that unit might start to drop. Yeah, look at that. Down to 60, into the 50s. That is the damage you do. They might get one more effective charge off. 30 men left. Should be enough. Looks like. Yeah, I was going to say, go for the other Galadrim sword now. Weaken both these guys. If you weaken both of them significantly enough, it makes them not a threat for the infantry. But here we go. Hit them hard, boys. Yeah, that's not a bad charge either. And there you go. 69, the funny number. And they start to drop. Yeah, into the 50s. And there you go. That's not bad at all. Dunakori here. They've carried on their charge down. They're still slicing and dicing through these sword warriors here. But I think... Well, actually, the Twilight Guard aren't firing at them. They're firing at Corsair archers back here, which is also not a bad target. Archers now with zero missile block are very vulnerable to other archers. So taking out your opponent's range is actually quite a good strategy with your archers. Certainly as elves, it just allows you to freely bring up your archers to wherever you like and just systematically just gun stuff down. I mean, you can do that anyway, really. You have the range of an absolute, of like nuclear weapons. These guys are firing nuclear tipped arrows. Twilight Guard really about to, well, they look at these guys. They're chevroned up so much. Double gold, double silver chevron, double bronze chevron. Got another one over here, another double silver chevron. My gosh, they really did spend a lot on their archers, and they still have plenty of infantry. This must have been a high spend game, like high funds, because it seems like a lot of elves, like a big Lothlorien army. I know they were attacking, but still. Seems like Dorwinians had its way over on this side here, gunning down these Arc of Spearfishers, and men-at-arms are going to have an easy time dealing with these guys. Good thing about these men-at-arms, they have javies as well. I think that's what both sides were doing. We're just jabbing each other, actually. And yeah, these Vineland men-at-arms, they're going to just javvy. They're going to stand here and start javvying these Wainriders. It does seem as though that there's already a fight, actually, over here, looking at the remains. Another Vineland men-at-arm unsuccessfully trying to break through. So yeah, that is one of the strengths of Dorwinian, is their javies. And as you can see, actually, a second unit is gone down. It's Baelic Axemen, so they sent down a lower tier shock infantry after their Aduna and Akori have gone down. And they also have Berserkers down here for Khan, so a lot of shock down here. Why the elves aren't firing at this? There's 3 units of shock all congregated together here. Whether they're worried about hitting their own elves, I don't know. They shouldn't be. Elves have insane accuracy. That's just law. And also a thing in the game, probably. It's certainly the best accuracy. It won't be insane. Not every elf can be as well trained and as well and have as great accuracy as Legolas. Or be able to defy gravity like Legolas, in fact. If you've ever watched the Hobbit films. I would be quite funny to watch elves and how to defy gravity in the mod. But also would make the mod just unplayable. But yeah, it does seem as though the Corsair archers over here, they're not interested in shooting other elven archers. They're also nearly out of ammo, those elven archers. Corsairs are going to gun down these sword warriors, which are all losing. And that's not because they're fighting Baelik's Axemen. If anything, the Baelic Axemen should be losing this fight as well. Carnage Berserker's still fighting here, but I think the Adun and Kori are actually finished. You see the last few down here. Look at this guy. It's like, please, mercy. And then dies. Yeah, the elves here are getting gunned down because of archers. They're losing because of these archers, not because of the shock that's holding them in place. That's 5 units of shock infantry in there. That's insane blobbing going on from the elves. I mean, they're tiny units now. That's an insane amount of units that have been thrown in there by the elves. And they're failing to break through. What a win there for the defenders. That really is. Anyway, back over to the other side. Because Gondor is actually making some moves now as well. So Gondor going in against more Carnage Berserkers. I feel like we're going to see a lot of Carnage Berserkers in today's siege. Because Khan didn't bring any actual infantry. Bar the spears. They didn't bring any sword infantry, I should say. Which is all well and good until those shock infantry of yours get shot in the face by arrows. And then it's a whole different story. Yeah, the Ringlow Vale men at arms, are they able to pull through? Oh, looks like they are. Or maybe, I don't know, whether they're trying to pull through or whether they were just trying to give them another attack or to get them closer into the fight. But whatever it did, it caused them to start losing. And there's so many units actually. We've got a Gondor sword. We've got 2 Gondor swords in there. My gosh. Yep, and as you can see, the defenders seeing a perfect opportunity to focus on those blobs. So we've got Variag Bowman here getting set up, ready to go in. And these guys are actually pretty good hybrids. They are a heavy bow unit. They do have a sword and a shield. So once they're done with their ammo and they can't refill their ammo, they'll probably be going into melee and they'll do okay. They'll hold the line. A bit like these Carnage Berserkers are holding the line here against the Dunland forces. There's shock infantry in here now. Dunland does do very well with shock. It's Dunherd chosen here, a solid unit. You often see people spam it out, bring an all shock army. But yeah, they are losing in fact to the Berserkers there. We also have Dunherd's swords losing there. Dunland on this side though is making progress, though it's costing him lots of men. I mean, some of these are also Berserkers, but there is a lot of dead Dunland troops down there. Oh, they're fighting Arc Spearfishers, okay. This won't last long. Dunland should break through these guys pretty quickly. They've run out of Javies, so that means it's now just time for the Spearfishers to die. I guess you could. I imagine, because they are technically just have ammo. It doesn't really define what ammo it is it's refilling. You could actually get the Spearfishers to refill their ammunition after they're finished using all their Javies. It's not really worth it, I don't think. I don't think it's probably better to allow archers to reuse the ammo, or to refill their ammo. But if you wanted to, I guess you could get your javelin spears to just refill ammunition. Usually they don't get the chance because they end up just getting thrown into combat because the enemy's charging them while they're in while they're throwing their Javies. But I guess you could. It's just something I thought of now. I guess you could get javelin units, like actual designated javelin units, to do the job as well, to also refill their ammunition. Looks like Dunland though is going to break through here. Then they're onto these Berserkers. I don't know if I would have sent these guys in yet because they're probably just wearing themselves out. Yeah, they're already winded. They're not really exactly in the fight. A lot of them are still just stood back here, just getting tired. And yeah, look at Variag Bowman showing that they can form shield wall. They'll get their swords out, showing off their abilities. But they need to really be firing at stuff. Probably, well, actually, they don't need to keep firing at these Gondor blobs because they have unblobbed, it seemed. Instead, it seems like there's not much to fire over here. Gondor and Dunland being a bit more conservative with their forces, knowing there's a long way to go. I mean, this little, redoubt down here that the defenders are holding is the most, forward point that they have. The next line is pretty well stacked with troops. There's lots of them by usurpers. Corsair Marines actually look like they're going to go down. I'm surprised there's any more down, to be honest. It seems like not a lost fight, but a losing fight. Eastern Legionnaires, another good shock infantry unit that Khan can bring. We have Blackhaven Guard moving over as well. They're moving a lot of forces over here at our Umbar. Any reason for that? I guess maybe they're just feeling like they're a little short here. The elves are going to break through. I'm surprised the elves still have shock infantry. Honestly, seemed like they were running out, but oh no, they seem to still have endless supply. Lothlorien is using every last elf they can find to field these armies. Twilight Guard going into battle now. They are the bow unit that we were looking at earlier. Very elite unit. And today they have plenty of chevrons as well. And they're pretty good at melee. Twilight Guard, really, and if they get less, it's no slight on the player. Like, usually when I see them play, they're on the defense. So on attack, could be a whole different story. Twilight Guard usually get between 300 and 400 kills. Probably 200 with their bows, and then another 200 in melee. These guys are insane. Whether they will have got that today, I don't know. I mean, they did gun down a lot of archers, so it's possible. More berserkers going in. The Carnage berserker spam is endless. It's just as much of a match to the Lothlorien Galadriel Sword Warriors spam, it seems. Oh, this is why they're moving a lot of troops over as Umbar. Yeah, this is what the mobilization is. Because actually, Dorwinion is nearly broken through. Oh, basically has. There's a tiny little... Was it Arthraz and Asgard already throwing in the elites? My gosh. Umbar was desperate on this flank here, but yeah. Dorwinion's actually almost broken through. That's just with his Vineland men-at-arms, the like lower tier guys. But I imagine he spammed these guys out a lot because, well, Javies. The Javi spam in Dawnless Days at the moment is a big thing. Certainly in sieges. You can see they're already jabbing into the back of this Arthraz and Asgard, which is unnecessary because it is almost dead anyway. And they're probably killing a few of their own men, but this shows the strategy of Dorwinion. You can see them just in the back there, just throwing their javies. And I imagine now they're going to start jabbing the healthy Arthraz and Asgard that's made an appearance. I was going to say just charge in. Don't allow these guys. They did actually just... I think because they gave the attack order onto this Violent Men at Arms, the Arthraz and Asgard did kind of pull through these elves, but not on purpose. It's one of those like mistake ones that both players at the same time give attack orders, but to different units. I don't think the Umbar player knew that these elves were making a move. But yeah, the elves are up, these pole arms. The Arthraz and Asgard, yeah. I'm not going to call it a pull-through, but that like attack order actually is screwed over that Arthraz and Asgard as it's losing decisively. Probably because it's fighting pole arms, but also because it's like formation was disjointed between two units. It'd be cool to see that like if they broke phalanx, the elves, they get their like sword out instead of it's on their back. Something that would be quite cool for the future. If Total War ever returns to historical battles. I guess you could also do it in fantasy battles as well, because there probably are plenty of units there as well that have two weapons. Say you have like an animation where a sword, not a sword, well it could be a sword I guess, but like a spear, like these pole arms. We'll go back to them so you get this idea. The pole arms, if the pole arm breaks, they make an animation where like the pole arm breaks and then they get their sword out on their back. That would be very cool. Like it looks like a strong pole arm would, but like after fighting for a bit, it would probably break, especially if he's been smashed down so many times, like by swords trying to like break through. You don't fight a pole arm by the blade; you try and snap the blade off. So yeah, it'd be cool if you could then get if they then get their sword out to then fight them. Well, it seems like Baelic Axemen here and those Arthraz and Asgard were successful in defeating the Violent Men at Arms, and now they're going into the next line of Violent Men at Arms, which means more javelins and more death. So yeah, all these javelins must be thrown at the Baelic Axemen while they're in combat. It's just a painful, painful system. Something that hopefully will be changed as time goes on. Carnage Berserk is moving up. Carnage Berserk is also getting shot at. I think that's by Avari Wanderers. So yeah, Dorwinion has also got some elves available in its roster, and these are the Avari elves. It's sort of like a dark elf, very much off to the east, kind of sworn their loyalty to Dorwinion. Well, I guess they're in the Dorwinion lands where they're settled, so they're put in the Dorwinion roster. So yeah, the Avari Wanderers are here, and I think, but I don't think they brought it today. There is also a spear unit. It's the Avari Warriors, and that's a like they look like a high elf sort of unit. They have the high elf armor anyway, and they're really good. It's a really good spear unit, but it doesn't look like it's been brought today by Dorwinion. They went for the Javi spam as their army today, and as you can see, oh, jeez, these poor guys are getting absolutely brutalized by javelins. These poor Wayne Rider Spear Warriors. I can see their plan. This is, oh, actually, well, yeah, the Spear Warriors are still suffering, but yeah, the Archer Fishermen are the ones that are going to take the L and take the javelins. Back over on this side here, it seems as though Dunland is going to break through. Dunland has just about done it. He's onto that second layer. We are going to see a Wainride, a Variag raided charge by the looks of it. They thought about it. They're getting stuck on these spears. Yeah, they sort of went for it. Here we go. They might now go in. They're now going to countercharge the Dunland troops. It's probably the worst thing they could have done. They were better off in that shield wall. I mean, it wasn't atrocious losses there, actually, but it still wasn't great. The Variag Riders only losing one man, killing about 30. And now they'll get the Javis to the face. Oh, no, they're going to get another cab charge. That was equally not a great cab charge. Pathetic, really, but they are still dying. I mean, it didn't look like it was very, like, damaging, but it actually was. They're down to 80. This is a pretty useless Dunland sword unit now. We've got Dunherd Chosen moving up, and we also have some Dunherd swords being sent into reserve. And here come the Javis. I imagine they'll do the same thing that Dorwinion's been doing on the other side. They'll just stand here and they'll start to Javi these units as they're in melee. It's such a cheesy tactic, it really is. Elves still have shock infantry. How? They're fighting Umbar Usurpers here. It's like the main infantry for Umbar. These guys are just going to keep on fighting. They're just going to keep fighting until there's no more shock infantry of the elves. Because at that point, they will have finally won. Yeah, Gladrum Spear Warriors, Sword Warriors are winning there against the Umbar Usurpers. No surprise, shock infantry does kind of screw over most swords and spears in a melee fight. We've got Haldir here nearly out of ammo as well. Twilight Guard nearly out of ammo as well by the looks of it. We have one Spear Warrior over here. And then it seems like the rest of the elves are either committed over here. We have one Gladrum Spear Warrior there. And then, well, that's it really. It seems like they haven't actually got much left of the Lothlorien player. So that is actually a good sign for the defenders, but it's not looking good on... well, balance power is slightly in favour of defenders, but numbers-wise, they're exactly the same, about 5,100 each. So, yeah, actually a very, very narrow battle in that sense. The defenders steadily giving up ground, but the attackers are just coming across more and more, like, stern defences. And against more elite warriors like these Alfraz and Asgar. And eventually, one day, Dorwinion will run out of javelins. And they will no longer be able to use the Javi tactic to break through. They've got crossbows as well, which is good. Yeah, you're having to bring up the Violent Guards now, so you can see they are running out of those Javis. They're having to bring up their elite swords. We have got Dorwinion crossbow, like I said, back here, just waiting patiently in reserve. But that's an interesting tactic to use crossbows. They're not like 12-12 where you can arc over. You have to have a clear line of sight. So even though they are very, very good at what they do, their armor piercing, it's pretty tough to actually use them. Ark are chosen here, by the way. Why aren't they making a dash round here down this slope where these Umbar usurpers are going, and then they could loop around and they could get Haldir. Haldir is open to be taken right now. That's what they should be going for. Or maybe they should be going and trying to deal with these Vineland guards at the moment. But it looks like we're going to see a charge actually from the Ark of Chosen. They're going to go through their pole arms and into these archers. I would have gone for Haldir, really. Haldir's a very light bow unit. These Twilight Guard are heavy bows. Pole arms moving in. They will try and hold this line, but they need to be careful to the pole arms because they could get flanked. I mean, Dorwinian should be looking at that option right now. Vineland guards here come down this little alleyway and can flank those Blackhaven sentries and sort of unlock that defense there for the elves, which otherwise they're kind of struggling. It looks like the elves are actually going to just ignore the pole arms and try and go for these archers here. Of course they are archers. I mean, can do, I guess, take them out. They have a lot of ammo actually, so probably is a good target to go for. We might see a cav charge here instead. The Ark Chosen done. Not done down there yet. But yeah, look at the quality of these Vineland men-at-arms losing in a sword fight here to the Arthas and Asgard. If they're not using their jabbies, these Vineland men-at-arms, they're not that great. Also have Vineland guards here now surrounding the Arthas and Asgard. So the men-at-arms and the guards of Vineland there, you know, they're coming together and they're going to defeat Arthrasen's best warriors. And yet now, definitely, I mean, this polearm here has been baited up. Haldir is undefended. Though he's not got any ammo left, it's not like a great target to go for, and it's worth taking out in general, you know, for morale's sakes. But the elves are nearly out of men, they're nearly out. Why the elves haven't maybe made a push here to try and surround this Blackhaven sentry, I do not know. They could easily do so. It's not exactly like a lot. I mean, they got Umbar Usurper, so they might want to just throw down to try and block it off. But here we go. And now they're going to turn around those Blackhaven sentries. Of course, their archers here are going to lose the Twilight Guard, unfortunately, by the looks of it. And the Twilight Guard are going to rear charge those Blackhaven sentries. And this is turning into a pretty grisly polearm street fight. Charge there in the back lines from the Ark of Chosen as well, if you didn't see that. Coming in, I guess, trying to support the, trying to break through to try and support these sentries. I imagine the elves will win this, but I'm not sure. It'll be close. But, as you can see, Umbar has got an idea. He's going to send in his archers to start focusing down these Galadrim Spear Warriors here, and he's going to try and kill these guys off. Haldir, by the way, has also been sent into combat, so don't think they'll be going in for any sneak attacks on him. We'll see how... He's good in melee, if I remember correctly, but he's very vulnerable to things like archer fire. The Galadrim Spear Warriors are losing decisively. That probably is to do with those arrow volleys in the back. And Dunland and Gondor here have moved on to the second layer of this defense. They are winning here, and by surface are defeating 2 Gondor sword infantry. We have also got berserkers in there, but they're about to die. And here you go, there's got a little fight down here, in fact, as well. Umbar is actually being super aggressive, fighting back down by the walls now. He's actually sent this unit to try and deal with some Citadel Guard and a Gondor Spear infantry unit. So, I mean, they've sent some... Yeah, this could be a bit of a bold move, really, to attack this unit. They should not have gone in here. I don't think he should have Umbar. Should have waited. Unless they're going to bring up archers to start shooting down here. I don't know. I mean, Umbar's also sending another unit down here. Is it just to try and preoccupy as many Gondor units as possible? Got Arthurian Rangers moving up as well. They're not going into melee, are they? General dead. I imagine that is Haldir. Yeah, Haldir is dead. He's gone. The elves are basically defeated. They might take that Blackhaven sentry with them by the looks of it. He's losing. What is this? A violent guard? How has this managed to get through? Oh, I guess it came through the... I don't know. Oh, I guess it came through here. Then up. That's my best guess. But it is losing, in fact, to Umbar Usurpers over here. Battle is taking place all over the city, which is great to see. I really was worried that, like, once they retreated to the second layer, the defenders, I really thought they were just going to just camp up there and just not come down. But they just used it as a way to then just, like, launch their way down and make some, like, counteroffensives where they wanted to. Got archers over here in combat with a Variag Bowman. They are holding the line. They are losing, but they are losing Vineland guards. So it's no surprise there. There you go. It seems like those Variag warriors there, they're going to die eventually. Avari Wanderers here. Oh, we got a Cav counter offensive here. Variag Raiders going for a charge. So all these archers they could go for. They are heavy bows though. They're not exactly the easiest to charge. And the pole arms, the Vintergard there, did stop that quite quickly with their sheer presence. And on this side here, it does seem as though the defenders have defeated the attackers. It wasn't exactly a very dedicated push. I mean, there was a fair bit of fighting over here. The Vineland men-at-arms did their bit, but I feel like Dorwinian is really needing to focus on this push over here. And they have nearly defeated the defenders, I feel like. The attackers here, I feel like. And the real threat is Gondor and Dunland, where they are nearly about to break through, I feel like, those two sides. But yeah, over here, I feel like they might have enough that they might be able to deal with Dorwinian. If they get their archers in the right places here, the defenders, they could just focus these guys down. Got archers here as well. We've got Corsair archers now firing into the backs of units here. And we also have Umbar Usurpers now on the wall. And I think they're going to get off the walls and surround these units over here. There are plenty of archers here that I guess could shoot them in the back. But yeah, they've got a plan, I think, with this Umbar Usurper up here. How much of this orange ammo have they used? Not, well, maybe a round, a couple of rounds. They barely fired a shot in anger. I would start, if I was them, I would start burning the settlement down. Give some settlement damage up. Try and help with morale and melee defense and melee attack debuffs for the defenders. That's what I'd be doing. Just start burning random parts of the city. Got Blood Avengers in here. They are trying to hold on. They've got their Uruk-hai hand-me-downs. I like how that guy just said, I can't feel my hand. Probably lost his arm. Or his hand. The Spearfish is still here. Still jabbing away. Killing these Blood Avengers. And it looks like, yeah, I mean, Dorwinian is in real threat here. We have cavalry in behind. They still haven't brought their general in, actually. Vineland Vierne is still outside the walls. I guess they didn't want to dismount and bring him in, and they didn't knock down a wall to, you know, bring in the cavalry. But, yeah, Wainwright and Nobles and Variag Raiders here are going to be able to charge into the back of all these Dorwinian troops here. Avari Wanderers, I have to just accept that. There's not much they can do. There's also crossbows here, these Dorwinian crossbows. A very, very good target. I think it looks like they're going to go for them. Here we go. In they go. Nice little charge there into the door-winning crossbows. A very good unit to get rid of. Crossbows are a pain. Very good armor pierce. You can see losing decisively. They may be heavy, but they're not that good. Not that good in melee. And you can't take an easy take a charge. And there you go. Wainwright and Noble coming in as well. The general for one of the Carnage armies. He's charging into the Avari Wanderers. See how he does. Yeah, losing decisively are those Avari Wanderers. Good to see. Start slashing these guys down. Yeah, they're dying pretty quickly. Whether the crossbows here will be able to focus one of these units down. It is free. It looks like it's going to try and shoot these Variag Riders here. Try and change that combat around. Unbody Serb is literally 16 of them helping to rout these crossbows here. Insane. Cav goes in for a counter charge here onto the crossbows, trying to free them up. They've sandwiched that door-winning crossbow, in fact. That might rout it. And the Avari Wanderer is still losing, but yeah, the general needs to be careful. He doesn't want to get sandwiched himself. There you go. The cavalry's done its bit. They might need to recharge these archers. But now, yeah, we have a general as well. Balku McGann here for Umbar. He can make a push. He should really be joining that fight. This spear unit is a really, really good unit in melee. It's probably better melee stats than some of its actual sword infantry. I think like only the Arthraz's Asgard maybe has better melee stats than the Balku McGann. It's actually kind of insane. Umbar Usurpers are a worse sword unit than a spear unit. The swords, oh sorry, not the swords, the cavalry. I'm going to deal with these archers who've got their swords out now, trying to slash at those horsemen. The Carnage Bowman down here as well. It's like the knockoff Variag Bowman unit. Just not quite as good, are you guys? But you'll do the job. You'll help surround and defeat these remaining Dorwinian troops. And that'll be Dorwinian basically out. All they'll have left is their general over there. And that just really leaves this front over here. Gondor and Dunland. And you can see artillery is actually starting to fire. They are trying to do some settlement damage. Haven't done a single % yet, but the settlement is burning. Whether it will spread does look like it kind of is. So this might turn the battle around a little bit in their favor with morale and melee defense and melee attack being affected, but we will see. We'll see in about 5 minutes time whether the whole city's on fire. They need to keep firing that artillery, doing exactly that work. There isn't massive infantry blobs of the defenders for the artillery to really be used effectively on that, and they aren't using it on walls clearly, so they might as well burn the city. Gondor and Umbar here in battle with each other. Both have very similar armor, which obviously very confusing for us to watch, but also shows like the similarity in their culture. I mean, they are both from Numenorian stock. So no wonder they have similar armor. Umbar Usurpers here probably... I don't know, actually. It's a spear unit, sorry. It's sword against spears. Swords usually win. I don't think they'll break through the Citadel Guards, though, that's for sure. We've got pole arms being moved up over here. Blackhaven sentries, they're helping in the fight. You can see the city is very much getting on fire now. Artillery should not be aiming at, like, infantry fights. They could just hit their own infantry at this point. That's equally as dangerous. Here you go, the combo of sword and polearm working quite nicely against the Citadel Guard. I was about to say Gondor's bringing up his own pikes to deal with it, but they're not pikes, they're polearms. Founding Guard are here. Some of the most elite infantry in Gondor's arsenal. They'll do what damage they can. If they can get some archers to start focusing down these Founding Guard, they could quite easily turn the tide of this fight here. You can see the Citadel Guards are losing decisively. I think that's because of archers. You got those Corsair archers there focusing down. I imagine the Founding Guard there. There's also Dunherd archers up on the wall, so I think they're going to try and do the same job that those Corsairs are doing. They're going to try and shoot into the side of these Blackhaven sentries and try and kill as many of those as possible. I imagine that's the case. Still fighting for the second layer, by the way. It looks like it's going quite poorly. Carnage Berserkers here just absolutely obliterating these Dunherd swords. Like I said, the Carnage Berserker spam is real. There's not a single, like, proper mainline sword infantry unit for Khan on this battlefield today. Just spears and shock and archers. It's insane. Definitely, I feel like if this Carnage army, whoever this is, was facing the elves that are on the field there, they just focus down these Carnage units. Because the Carnage Berserkers, they're like very light or light. Yeah, light shock. So if like missile block is, well, it's non-existent anyway, but their armor is also non-existent. So they really are a glass cannon. The polearms here for Umbar Arslan lose. I think that's just because they're facing off a bit against better quality polearms in the Founding Guard. They are probably the best polearms in the game. Absolutely. But yeah, if you want to send in your own replays, feel free to do so. The link to my Discord is down below in the description. It's the best place to send them in. It's where I sent this one that we are showing off today. Did say it was a very, very good one. And there are certain people, when they send in a replay, you know it's good. You know it's going to be good. See, the city is starting to burn, though. Still at 0%, though. Is there that much of the city to burn? I guess maybe there is, but I didn't think that small portion would count as 0%. We must be getting close to 1. Or maybe because it's a custom map, it's just kind of bugged out the amount, but man, hopefully it's having an effect. I really hope so for the defenders. Sorry, for the attackers' sake. But it does seem that, yeah, that Blackhaven sentry at 9 men left, and it's gonna waver and break in a moment, I imagine. We have got Cav as well waiting patiently. They're gonna wait for, I guess, a breach to be open. Maybe they're waiting for this onagers maybe to reposition. They're gonna knock a breach open. Maybe try and do a rear charge onto some of these units. Got Corsair archers here in combat. I thought maybe they had ammo left, but they don't. These angry pirates are gonna fight against Gondor. Even if the pirates fail, they've got the Umbar usurpers in behind. They're still firing ammo at them. They're firing it. Might need to save some of that ammo for more pressing matters. The Umbar usurpers, like polearms. I mean, Blackhaven sentries are on the way up, and that is what Dunland here is firing at with his Dunland archers. But Eastern Legionnaires are also in combat here, and they're dealing with these Gondor archers out of ammo. So yeah, we now have Khan sitting in his elite shock on this side here. Is Eastern Legionnaires. They're looking like they're in the old style of the Variag warrior before it got redone. And these Eastern Legionnaires should slice and dice through all these archers, really. It's a worrying sign with this front over here is starting to collapse for the attackers. You can see that we also have some Blood Avengers losing here to polearms. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty rough fight. Polearms against shock infantry. Shock infantry just don't have the reach to get close enough to those polearms. So they just get impaled. And they are also getting focused down, I think, by archers. That might be friendly archers, to be honest, actually shooting into that fight. Killing some of their own troops. So you need to be careful of that. But yeah, if they break through this Blood Avenger here, it's then home sailing. They just come down the slope and then in behind. And it looks like the defenders might be about to turn this one around. They have 2,100 men against about 1,500 attackers. But there is a breach open, and that is going to allow the cavalry inside. They are not going to clash with these battles from again, or are they? Literally at the last moment there, the Violent Bien changed his mind. They've actually managed to rout all those Founding Guard. I think that's with archers there, those Corsair archers, sacrificing their lives to take out those of the Founding Guard. If they wanted to here, these Knights of the Knights of the House of Earl, I was about to say Knights of the Swan, Silver Swan, could just charge up here. Well, actually, they can't just charge up here. They're going to have to go through Balcom again. But if they can get up a slope, then they could get to the final cap point before the defenders do. That's for sure. There's a few generals around that are still on horseback, but they're not healthy. Going to see Variag Bowman going here, charging uphill. Doesn't make for the most inspiring cav charge. There you go, the Biens. I don't think it was expecting it. It wasn't an actual charge. Then we do have a cav charge there from the Swan Knights. They are going in. They're trying to take out the Zumba usurpers. Slash them and hack them down. Knights of the Swan. The longer these guys stay in combat, the more the balance of power goes in favor of the Zumba usurpers. Cavalry, the shock cav especially, relies on charges, not on melee like this. Even if they do look goddamn sexy as this unit. A rush forward here from Gondor, though. He might help rout these swords before his general dies. His general is still actually winning slightly, but he is taking losses. I think now is the time for the defenders to look at retreating again. I don't think they can withstand all these cav charges down here. I mean, Dunland is also setting his general in, so there's now 3 very healthy cav units that are all on the loose. We do have a general here as well that is losing the Eastern Legionnaire general here. Losing Dunherd archers maybe? Or just because he's getting shot down, he might be losing as well. Eastern Legionnaires trying to deal with these Dunland archers. Once they break through all these archers, they're just as well. There's not much left, to be honest. They break through this archer unit. There's another ranger unit to take out, but there's not much, like I said, in the way of infantry left. There's actually a Balcom McGann who's got outside the walls to take out this onager. How smart an idea that was. It's going to get rear charged here by Champion Reavers, but it wasn't a great charge. I think the artillery broke its charge, like the actual physical artillery. Yeah, the Balcom again winning against the Onager. Probably will win against his Champion Reaver as well. They'll lose some men as they retreat there. The Knights of House of Swan. Why do I want to call them that today? Knights of the Silver Swan. Look like they're going to go for another charge. Maybe the rear charge is by usurper. Change their mind. Got a general throwing himself in here. I don't know if he's about to die. Waiting around a general here. 8 of them left. Charging in the shock infantry, which do well. Fighting against Cav, especially after the charge. Looks like that general's finished if he wasn't already. And it looks like we are going to see a push down. And might see army losses soon, I'm not sure. 700 left against 1400. They are going to have to kill all these spears off, I think, before we see army losses. 100 Citadel Guards still left there, so that's a healthy-ass unit. That's for sure. They might not break very easily. Blood Avengers as well is looking very, very healthy. Champion Reaver here, he might go for a rear charge onto these archers. Get these Carnage Bowmen out of here. No, he's not. He's going to go for swords. Well, at least he looks like he's going to. He might not. But here we go, yeah. Eastern Legionnaires. Khan is now enveloping what looks like the remains of the Gondor's army here. Founding Guards and Citadel Guards being surrounded by Carnage troops. How much did the settlement burn in the end? 1%. Oof. What it could have been. It could have burned the whole settlement down, possibly. Still holding their line pretty well are these guardsmen, so it doesn't look like they're going to break anytime soon, it seems. They'll be there for a while. Archers here, Dunherd Archers still fighting on. They have ammo left as well. Billion Rangers over here, still in the fight as well. Cavalry here, though, charging the Eastern Legionnaires, has helped turn the tide in favor of the attackers here. And with that unit breaking, again, have a route all the way up to the final cap point if Gondor wants to use it. But he might be thinking, I need to try and help save my army. My army is in terrible shape right now. And so is his hopes of winning this game.
The battle is turning in our favor. Enemy units have returned to the battle.
Is that chain route? No, I honestly saw like all the unit like go heads down moving. No, they're just exhausted. That's what it is. So the guards though in that repositioning are starting to lose. I don't know why they did that, but yeah, they're now starting to lose. The Founding Guard are winning though. General over here getting sandwiched between Balky McGann and also some Umbar Corsairs. So I think this is going to be the end of Dunland's general, but he's not got much of an army left. So this won't be the greatest of losses. Gondor's army is the only one that really remains. So their general must stay alive if they want any hope of winning. But that hope is quickly slipping away. But yeah, it's certainly a really aggressive defense here by Umbar and Khan, and it really worked in their favor. Like they just gave up the walls, but then after that, sort of their counterattacks really did actually pay off. And there you go. I think we're seeing a chain route there. And a Pyrrhic victory has been won by Umbar and Khan. So well done to everyone that took part in this battle. Certainly was a fun one. This was sent in by Zahn, who's playing as one of the Umbar players. He's also one of the devs for the Last Breath submods. So he knows a thing or two about Umbar and how to best use them. But yeah, he got some pretty good kills with his army. His Umbar Usurper getting 140 kills. His Bailic Axeman getting 153 kills. His Polearm's actually not doing too shabby, getting 142 kills and 122 kills there. And then his Archers 137, 134. And then his Haradrim Auxiliary is getting 123 kills. Then we have Bulk playing as one of the Khand armies. 224 kills with the Wainrider Nobles. Very nice. Berserkers here. The Berserker spam was real. 146 kills with one of them here, 109 with the another one, the rest getting below 100. And then his Wainrider Spear Warriors, 216 one of them did. Excellent, that is very nicely done. His Carnage Bowman, 377 kills, 179. That was like being rude about these guys earlier, saying they were like the worst version of the Veriac Bowman. But they in fact outscored the Bowman, who only got 156 kills here. And it's Arkachosen getting 74 kills. Then we have Karpov playing as Umbar. 191 kills with the Balku Magan. 108 with the Umbar Usurper there. 285 with another Umbar Usurper here. And 278 with another one. Very nice kills here. 192 with the Arthraz and Asgar. 138 kills with the Adun and Courier's. Polearm's also doing reasonably well. 119, 129. Whenever Polearms get into the hundreds, triple figures, they've always done okay. They usually end up being the first thing to be shot down, usually in a game. 154 kills with the Corsair Archers. Then we have Nuno Reves playing as the final Khandish army. Did really spam out those damn Berserkers, my gosh. Eastern Legionnaires, 130 kills here. 173 with the Khandish Berserkers. 224 with another one. 259 here. Yeah, all these actually getting plus 100. Did really well. I guess he was up against Dunland. Yeah, had a really good time fighting against Dunland, it seemed. 352 kills with the Eastern Legionnaires. Really well done. 240 here. My gosh. Khan seems like it's going to be a great Dunland counter, because Dunland usually spams out the shock, which in this game it didn't really do that much, to the extent it really could do. So Khan definitely could be a good shock-to-shock counter. The Archer Spearfishers here getting 99 kills. Like, not too bad for them. And then the Bowman getting 137. 204 kills with this Variag Rider. Then we have the Dunlun tribes here. 108 kills with the Champion Reaver. 284 kills with the Dunlun Sword. Dunherd Sword here getting 172 kills. Then we have Dunherd Chosen getting 232 kills, 125. Then we have Blood Avengers getting 200 kills, 235 kills, some really good kills there. These shock infantry always do well. Then we have Dunherd Archers, 139 kills, 169 kills, some good kills there. Then we have Trey playing as Lothlorien, 270 kills with Halder here. Wow, very nicely done. 225 kills with the Gladrim Sword Warriors, 145 kills with another 160, 144. My gosh, you really did spam out the shock. Insane. That is actually nuts. And then we have, not many kills with the Spear Warriors. And then we have the Twilight Guard. I did say they were going to get between like 300 and 400 kills. One of them did, 369 kills. The others, one got 213 kills, 149. So not bad for these guys. But definitely not hitting their full potential that they could do. This one did well though, did very well. Then so well done to Trey there. To Nipper, who was playing as Dorwinium, 244 kills with the Men at Arms. Probably got a lot of those kills with Javies. A lot of good kills here, 160, 165. And then we have the Guardsmen here getting 114 kills, 163. Then we got Archers here, Vari Wanderers, those elves that are fighting for Dorwinion. 142 kills, 212 kills. The crossbows, not that great. And then we have Daredevil playing as Gondor, the final attacking army. His archers did very well, 259 kills, 236 kills, 158 with the Founding Guard. And what else we got here? 125 with the Gondor Sword Infantry. But his infantry had a really rough time, it seems, in today's game. And then 136 kills with his general, his Knights of the Silver Swan. But there you go, guys. That is today's siege battle. If you did enjoy, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you in the next one.